Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, Jon and Nez hanging out. Black and Yellow Dog app platform of the people here, and very exciting day. Very exciting day. Last call for best ball, and we got real football action this evening. So people are going to be taking their shirts off everywhere and victory lapping way too early.
I mean, that's what it's all about, man. That's why we pay the fees. That's why we pay the rake for the right to victory lap the things that we put our money on. I mean,
Damn right.
you can be annoyed with it. I get annoyed with it. But like that's why you pay the money. That's what the money's for. So you can do these things. That's half the fun. I mean, there's like double digit number of the thousands of us that are actually going to win. So like dude, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah. We'd all rather be right than win anyway. So let's celebrate when we're
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. Like Davis said that he wouldn't trade. So, famously last year, Davis, among others, had forgettable seasons, but he said he would do it all over again to witness the Xavier Worthy touchdown in week 1. He said it was so worth it.
That's so good. Oh man, exciting stuff, bro. Exciting stuff. Daily streets are popping right now, Nez. We got some promos going for people to be last second. We also got a potential new look coming our way for this show in general. Nez and I were just effing around with it behind the screen scenes here to get things to work and that sort of deal. And yeah, man, exciting times to have football back right now.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, there's nothing else to say, man. I mean, I'm containing my excitement right now because my son is sleeping in the living room and I don't need to like hoot and holler, it'd be showy. But oh my God.
But you want to.
It's so fun. But what's funny, bro? What's funny is like football's back. I've poured too much money into drafts this season and I can't even watch. I'm not even gonna be able to watch the game tonight.
Oh, don't tell anybody that. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Earmuffs.
I know.
That's so unfortunate.
It's for a good reason, but
Okay.
I have tickets to Eclipse concert tonight with a buddy.
Okay.
Pusha T, Malice, the fellas. And
okay.
Yeah. So I'm at least going to have fun, but like I'm going to be updating the dog app like during
Pusha T's been on stage and be like, yo, this ain't a banger. Like, just like, scroll the dog out.
I'm going to be playing Virginia and I'm just okay. How many fantasy points does Saquon Barkley have? Fuck. I'm screwed.
Oh, good shit. Good shit. Dude, let's move into today. Let's talk about the slate here. Obviously, Primetime Palooza. So the vibe of the show, obviously, yesterday we kind of did things in inverse order because of Pete going primetime on us over the weekend here. But what?
Sorry, John. He's got the funniest fucking update ever.
Okay.
Amari Cooper's retiring.
Oh, fucking way. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Jacoby Myers doesn't want to trade anymore. Jacoby Myers does not want to trade anymore.
Dude,
that's unbelievable. Snip, snap, snip, snap. I'm not going to lie. I jammed him a couple times at the tail end of both BBM and of some of those slows that I had going on I can't remember what slows I had going late. Maybe like a couple of Rottweilers or something like that. I jammed him a couple times.
Oh, fuck. That is so funny, dude. Oh, my God.
That's a hilarious sequence of events. Like, what would make you be like, I'm about this, and then just like leave? Like, he went to practice one day and was just like, nah, Pete Carroll ain't it? Or like, what is this?
I mean, like what could have possibly taken place where he was like, Coach, I don't got it. I don't got it, man. You're
chilling on the couch, gets an invite. He's like, yo, Raiders might contend. Raiders in a dome. Okay. Oh, live in Vegas. This could be right for me. Okay. Like goes out there and then just takes like one hit across the middle, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck this, going home."
Yeah. You know what? You know what I actually think? Here's what I think. I think his agent hit him up and was like, Amari, I have a contract that is waiting for us to sign,
Uh-huh.
and I found a loophole that says if you are on the team after September 3rd, you get to keep your signing bonus. Like, what do you think? He's like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yes, I promise you." These fucking knuckleheads, bro. They we slipped it in there and they caught it. So he probably just like went to practice for a couple days, collected 50 grand, and was like, "Yeah, I'm my resignation and work day."
Dude, that's pretty sharp. I mean, Zakarian's on it too here, where he's like saying maybe he just wanted to retire a Raider, like the classic, like go back home, like, yeah.
The thing that sucks is like I don't think, and we'll check because we're gonna do some best ball drafts because it's the last day. I don't think Dante Thornton like dropped a meaningful amount, unfortunately, with the Amari signing. But that would be like a really fun last day angle to take.
Yeah, little Jack Besh in the last round. A little Galbrain.
I mean, second round pick.
Mayer, more 12 personnel. Michael Mayer out there.
Holy shit, man! I'm sorry. That was too funny. Like the day of the season. The day of the season.
That's pretty crazy there. I mean, it's heartbreaking because people forget that Amari Cooper is still 21 years old. So it's crazy to see a career end so early here.
Wow.
No, it is. No.
What did you say?
No, never mind. It's the moment has passed.
Sorry.
The moment has passed. Let's jump on over to platform. A couple things to walk through just to start off football season here. Go check out the Underdog draft account. They were giving away some BBM entries for when they reached 10,000 subs, and they did reach 10,000 subs. So make sure you guys check out your account to see if you were a recipient of a potential BBM entry there. BBM is at 99%. Going to get that thing across the finish line this afternoon there. If you guys are in the mindset of chasing some EV, chasing some overlay, sprint promo and marathon promo, effectively you enter 5 of them, you get 1 of the entry fees back, and you can run that twice. So you could get 10 sprints in and 10 marathons in this afternoon, and you could get $40 back for the sprints in bonus cash, and you could get $30 back for the marathons in bonus cash there. So if you guys are still in the best ball mindset, like we're going to be in about half an hour's time here, absolutely hop on in there. Anything else to say? Just tail end of best ball season here, Nez?
No, I mean, those, if you haven't done those promos, definitely, take advantage. I did, and I was talking to you before the show that I really like the marathons, and I wish I had more time to get more marathon drafts in, because now that we have week 1 projections, I think you can really leverage those in a pretty strong way in the marathon. And I think there's some pretty nice values because of it. But no, man, last day. So get in here if you haven't.
Nice. Yeah, good shouts there. Man, I'm just thinking about those dead eliminator roster spots that I have 18th round Amari on now. Pretty good. Guys, if you did not see yet, the masterclass, we'll keep bringing it up here. It's your last opportunity prior to kickoff here to enroll with the promo codes. There is a promo code linked below in the members only section here. There's a promo code in the Deposit Kingdom Discord, and there's a promo code attached to the video in which Pete did I guess 2 or 3 days ago now, which is tagged in the playlist below there, just walking it all through. There's also been additional content added to it. Pete is going to be adding his hidden gems. He did a hidden gems video last year that was very, very successful on the Deposit Kingdom channel. He's no longer going to be doing those this season, and instead he's going to be updating the masterclass. He has already put his week 1 gems in there for you guys. So if you are enrolled, go in, jump in there, and go ahead and check out the week 1 gems there. He's already got them up for everybody. I'll drop the link in the chat. And then also, Nez, what did you add over the week here?
Yeah, so I had 2 videos added. One was my dog bowl early week process. And, that does change a little bit once projections from every other source come out, but it's my early week dog bowl process and my auto draft process. And I didn't get a chance to share all of the completed teams via my auto drafting, but I do plan on doing like a review, good or bad, of my auto draft week in the Wildcat, and I'll upload that as well.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, great stuff there. I'm going to do a swaps video for the Primetime Palooza this evening, running in tandem with that slate. And I think that is probably the perfect segue there, Nez, because we got to talk about some real life ball taking place tonight. Man, fun slate, fun 2-gamer in here. We've already filled one of the dives, and I believe the DeBomb is almost finished or did close this morning. So now we got a hurry up Primetime Palooza up there as well. And then we got the main Primetime Palooza, the $10 price point, which is going there. Nez, how far along in your endeavors are you?
Oh, dude, very far. I have single digit Primetime Paloozas left to max. I didn't do any of like the high dollar Primetime stuff, but I think I'll do maybe like one dive because they released like a second dive, so I'll probably do like one of those. I did all the hurry ups, I did the bash, join the bash hashtag. Yeah, so 8 left for Primetime Palooza. It's a super fun slate, man. Super fun Primetime Palooza, and as we know, they're not always fun.
Yes, no, very much so. Yeah, having 2 marquee games with like 4 of the elite quarterbacks on here feels really good, man. You got a 48 total and a 47 total. Unabated has it at 48 and 46.5. They're 8-point favorites at home for the reigning champions. Philadelphia Eagles going to be raising the banner this evening here. Get the Micah Parsons-less Cowboys there. And then the other game is a divisional game between Chiefs and Chargers, but it is in Brazil there. And our man Pete Overzet is going to be on the pregame call for some fantasy takes on that one on the YouTube's platform. Really excited to see that tomorrow night. If you guys, I'm sure you guys will be tapped in, but that's going to be a movie to see our guy making his prime time TV debut. That's
still so cool, man.
Yeah, very, very cool. All right, let's dive in here. Alan's asking, how are you manage your combos in the PTP and BRs? That seems like a great question, Alan, for the masterclass. That seems like a great one there. But if you want to hit on that, Nez, maybe let's give it a second, walk through the slate a little bit, and we'll naturally get to that spot.
Okay, yeah, hold that thought, Alan.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about these ball games, dude. Last year, the one thing I would bring up is just the footing in that game. Everybody was concerned about the field conditions and that sort of stuff in Brazil last year with that Friday night game. Actually, just a random thought here. Pete's last year Friday night game, I believe that was Eagles and Packers, if memory serves. We were at the ship chasing party at the stadium swim, sucking back slushies in Las Vegas for that Friday night game. And now he's going to be on TV with Brandon Marshall and whomever else. That's a pretty funny dichotomy between the two years, like where are you now meme of like last year to this year.
They're saying you are the launching pad to stardom.
I'm the catalyst to stardom, as in get the fuck away from Jon and you'll flourish.
Yeah. You hang around Jon enough and you're like, how do I work hard enough to get away from No, you're the good luck charm, man. You're the good vibes that leads you to that next level in people's careers.
That's funny, dude. That's too funny, but not true at all. Dude, let's talk about the ball games on the slate here. Obviously, one heavy favorite in the Eagles here. Obviously, a double road game for the other game there, in the fact that they're both traveling, not in their home beds, don't have your home crowd, like that sort of narrative in that. The macro of the slate here, Nez, how these ones are going to play out, how you've been thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like too strong of takes really. Like I am pretty much kind of working around every type of combo in the Primetime Palooza right now.
Okay.
I think the strongest take that I have is like, I didn't think early on Amari and Hampton's ADP was all that efficient. He was a third overall pick for a good portion of the Primetime Palooza, at least for like the first like 30 or 40% of it filling. And he's really started to slip now. Like people, have access to their projections now, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, maybe not so much, but it is a rookie, and projection systems are going to not show favoritism toward a rookie. I mean, that being said, I still have like, I'm not like full fading him because he's fallen enough that like, okay, I'm starting to take him, but that was like my first lean was to fade Hampton. My other strong take is like I have a lot of the Chiefs wide receivers.
Okay.
That's really probably my strongest take is having a lot of those guys. I think a number of ways I think they can get home.
Okay, cool. Now, is that leading you to prioritizing quarterback to Patrick Mahomes because you are taking the pass catchers, or is the pass catcher kind of like an independent stance?
Well, it probably should. But it hasn't.
Okay.
I'm at like 15% Mahomes. I mean, should it? Probably, but it does. To me, it feels bad reaching on Mahomes, and I think the quarterbacks outside of Hurts all project like really, really similarly in my head, at least. So
yeah,
I haven't been like going out of my way to draft Mahomes early, but I like my Mahomes teams a lot.
Okay, cool. With a heavy favorite like the Eagles, who beat the brakes off the Cowboys last year. Granted, those Cowboys games against them last year did not have Dak Prescott. They took place after Prescott was hurt there, but no Parsons here, obviously, and then really banged up secondary. Don't know for sure if Diggs is going to play this evening. We'll know when inactives come out an hour and a half before, but full participant yesterday, which is kind of bullish for him playing today, but it does sound like he might need a little bit more time. So that secondary might not look so great there. Is this a, onslaught the Eagles environment? Is this a onslaught one game environment opposed to the other game environment? Or have you had like a very balanced approach between the two games?
Yeah, no, I'm like pretty much very projection pilled with my selections, like just trying to build like really good teams and at this point scroll and get some players at the end of drafts that I haven't really gotten a whole lot. If I do end up onslaughting, then like it just happens to be that kind of team, but that's not something that like I've set out and planned to do, where like, okay, I think onslaughts are the move in PTP.
Right.
Not necessarily. No, I think these games are both, pretty close together. I think like the biggest thing that I've been thinking about in these is like, what if it's not a Saquon team winning? Well, I think the next likeliest outcome is it's a Hurts team winning. Well, if the winning lineup doesn't have Saquon or Jalen Hurts on it, what does that winning lineup look like? And I'm gonna say this. I've been thinking about ways to kind of solve for that.
Okay.
But I haven't put anything into action yet. Well, I think I'll just talk about it. Whatever. Fuck it. I think that you can basically create every combination of team without Saquon and Hurts on it, and sim it and see what's performing well. Like you can basically take them out of the player pool, ask for combinations of every single lineup, and see what performs well without those two, and how do these teams look? How do these other teams possibly get there without Saquon and Hurts? Because half the time, or at least 25% of the time, if you're playing at volume, you're not going to have Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley just it looks like a have to have it piece,
Okay.
Especially with the fact that he, like, every combination of player is falling to Saquon, like other than like CeeDee Lamb, every player has fallen to Saquon at some point in these lobbies. So
okay.
What do you do?
Okay. Yeah, very interesting stuff there. I will direct people to the correlation chart. It's obviously different on a 2-gamer than like a full slate dynamic one, but two of the most negatively correlated players that we saw all of last year were Hurts and Saquon. So there's also that dynamic of like, Jordan saying in the chat right now, he's done 75 entries and he's got 2 combinations of Hurts and Barkley. Well, it's like, is it even good? Question mark. Like, some of the data from last year and the charting that Pete uses in the video that's tagged below there about the masterclass actually like says that it's bad. Now, if you get it in this contest, I'm never passing on it just because it's a rare combinatorial and obviously a 3 rushing scores between the two of them or a dump off score to Saquon is like a very real possibility on a short slate. I just will throw it out there that those two are traditionally speaking very negatively correlated players, but that doesn't really matter on a 2-gamer like this. I love this. Refusing to let Nez have an edge. Nez giving away his edge for free. Love to see it. A lot of talks in the chat here about the Hampton stuff. I just want to touch on this because this was something of the past where it's like people would be like, "Oh man, I can't win the contest because I'm not going to have access to like some crazy combo." I think we're kind of done away with that with the ADP and the new policing of the primetime paloozas and away from the showdown dynamic that I don't think there's any chance that like Lamb Barkley will like ever exist this evening. And I kind of want to pose it as a question to you, Nez. Like, what do you think like the most extreme combo of something that you've seen or that you've been able to obtain would be?
I got a pretty crazy combo, and I only have one, and I don't know if it'll survive. I think it has survived so far. Let me check my drafts email. So far so good, but it was Saquon, Ladd, and AJ Brown. I did
Saquon, Ladd, and AJ Brown. Okay, yeah.
So that's pretty crazy.
Somebody just went like Hurts and Smith. Somebody went Amarian and Xavier Worthy. Someone pulled up tight end or another quarterback.
It was me, a badge, and 2 no badgers. Yeah. The badge player went Mahomes at pick 3, Pacheco pick 6. The guy that took CD2 went Hampton. The guy at 4 or 5 took Worthy and Hurts. So like,
I don't see
the badge guy really screwed up. But like, the only reason that it could get canceled is because it's a rare combo, which like respect. If it's the only one that exists, go ahead and nuke it. But like, it's not because these guys did anything wrong.
Sure. Yeah. Just evergreen combination in terms of the combos that we talk about. Congrats on that. Oh man. Okay, does anything else macro game environment, just thoughts for how these ones will play out?
Well, it certainly seems like the Eagles are about to put belt to ass to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, how does this potentially not end up in an ass whooping? I think is like a fair question. I'm not entirely sure because I don't know how they're going to stop Saquon. Hurts, maybe like a Hurts turnover, maybe a special teams touchdown for Dallas. Maybe Dallas offense is absurd and they are just like passing all over. Thinking about how this could possibly not end up in the Eagles crushing. I mean, because I think the Eagles are going to win by like 2 scores here.
Okay. Sure.
So to me, it just seems like a Saquon show.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we get the shoddy era of let Russ cook, but let Dak cook in this instance. Obviously, really strong defense from the Eagles, good secondary, who just continued to get better in the offseason there, which is hard to think after they won a championship in such a dominant fashion last night, or last year rather. So yeah. Okay, cool. Let's push into the ADPs and the specifics and some of the scrolls here, Nez. I will jump over to the platform. Here we go. I think we're kind of all in lockstep with these first two being, it's weird to have a primetime Palooza with like a flat 1-1 first pick, but I think that is the case here, and a flat 1-1 for Saquon Barkley makes a lot of sense, just based on the workload he had last year and the matchup here, and they're huge favorites at home in the first game of the year. If I'm playing on redacted, I think IQ meme Jam Barkley would be kind of like how I'm thinking. So I guess the conversation is kind of after these two, how are we treating this? And the first thing you said was Hampton was previously going at the third. Then we get the Najee practicing news. Then we get the Najee going to be out there. Coach Speak Index put out something last night, guys, that kiboshed the idea that Najee would start. There was kind of like a false report floating around there that Najee would start tonight. It doesn't sound like there's any truth to that based on the actual Coach Speak and the stuff that Coach Speak Index brought as evidence, kind of thing, with like Harbaugh's like actual quote there. But how are you treating this like kind of next clump here? Because I think there's a little bit more of the running back scarcity on this slate than we'd like to have.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been kind of leaning into the scarcity of it and fading a lot of these running backs and trying to play different angles of it when I don't get Saquon Barkley, just because there are, I think, enough Saquon Hampton teams that I'm beginning to like kind of game theory it a little bit and be like, the only person I think I would want to pair Hampton with is like Jalen Hurts.
Sure.
Where Hurts is really putting the hurt on the Cowboys, and then Hampton is having like a really nice game, and then that's how you counteract Saquon, or like I guess maybe AJ Brown Hampton, where all the touchdowns are going through the air, and it's Hampton and AJ Brown outscores Saquon, and Hampton is scoring like 20 points, but from here though, I have been doing a lot of Jalen Hurts at 3.
Okay. So you're fine doing the push the quarterback up thing because you want to combat the correlation of the Barkley stuff.
Yeah. That's definitely how I'm thinking about it. Anytime I don't have Saquon, how am I beating a Saquon team?
Right. Yeah, no, I respect that for sure. What would you buy into this narrative at all that Saquon had all the touches in the world last year? Mm-hmm. They come out this year and they just go, "Hey man, this is a winnable game for us at home to do it in a way in which we did not do it last year." AJ Brown, slowly trending towards fully healthy. Devonta Smith slowly trending towards fully healthy now as well. Let's just come out and showcase that we can win in a different way than we won last year and kind of work and ease Saquon back in after such a strenuous year and long season last year in terms of touches.
Not unless like the game environment puts them in a position to do so. Otherwise, no, Saquon Barkley is their running back 1, and they're going to use him like that.
Okay.
I don't think they care they care that much about his last season touches. If he's healthy, they're going to use him.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I think then this next kind of like pocket, you're talking about the Hampton versus Barkley narrative, but you want to kind of get a head on running back. And then there's kind of like the clump of like the 3 wide receivers. Is there any like concern with Pacheco in terms of workload, or are you bullish on Pacheco and want to pull him up into this tier because of scarcity at the position?
I am bullish on Pacheco. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he, is a lot healthier than he was the last time we saw him. I'll take the Chiefs in damn near any game. So against the Chargers, yeah, I'm not really too concerned about the Chiefs' ability to win this one. And I think Pacheco is in line for a majority of the work.
Okay.
And probably more live to score a touchdown than Hampton, but I don't know about that. But yeah, I have a good bit of Pacheco right now.
Okay. No concern about Kareem Hunt being the goal line guy or like a guy who impressed in camp in Rashad Smith being like, hey, we're just going to use this guy. Like, we think he's good.
No Brashard Smith for me, but I have 14% Kareem Hunt when I don't get Pacheco. So,
okay.
you know,
Do you still like Kareem Hunt as like RB4/5 on the slate? 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool.
But playing Pacheco's range of outcomes, though, for sure.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring up with this next kind of clump of guys, and Worthy in particular, is Worthy was projected lower than this earlier, and his ADP has slowly risen because this contest dropped in the window of time where we didn't know if Rashee Rice was going to be suspended or not, and there was just like kind of like a Q tag on Rashee Rice to be determined, and now Worthy has like pushed up. So if you're going to try and encapsulate a faller that mirrors combinations that existed early in this draft window, it would be via pushing Worthy, would it not, Nez?
I don't think it's going to matter that much.
Okay. It wasn't like that significant of a move, and removing one player from the player pool right now, because basically we've flipped Najee and Rashee Rice basically into the player pool, where like Najee wasn't getting drafted 100% of the time early on because people didn't know if he was going to play. Hampton was pushed up, and now Rice has been removed from the player pool and Worthy's moved up. That's kind of been the ADP movement of this contest.
Right. Worthy still will sometimes fall to Saquon. So it's not like, it's not the end of the world.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Nick's saying that Worthy used to fall to Saquon, but it's become quite a bit harder, but not impossible. Okay, yeah, that checks out to me. Okay, Nez, I think the next big grouping of like, what do we start doing with Javonte Williams tonight? I was on with Davis earlier. We were joking around that like, hey man, he could do his best Zeke Elliott, like 12 for 45 and 2, and it wouldn't surprise me, and he just falls in at the goal line twice, or he could get 8 carries for 24 yards and it wouldn't surprise me. Where are you at on like the next tier of, I guess we could pivot to just running back in particular for this conversation. Where are you kind of at that like next tier of, if you don't roll the 101 with Saquon and you don't take Hampton or pull up Pacheco, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of Javonte. I'm at 16% Javonte. Let me actually just filter to the main. 13% Javonte. I have like very little interest in him. All the shares that I have of him are well past ADP. The game script looks really bad for him. It does not seem to be in his favor. I don't think he's good at football, man. I think we've seen enough of him over the last couple of years that to confidently say that Javonte Williams is no longer good at football. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe come out here and he wows us. But I would definitely caution against, like, just because he was like the healthiest during most of the offseason, that like he's just all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but he's going to be the heaviest used player. Like right now, like I'm wishing I had more. I have 14 Jaden Blue shares, but like I wish I had way more Miles Sanders shares.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, little Miles Sanders revenge game narrative versus divisional foe. Oh my goodness, what are we doing?
Yeah, like, I mean, I think it's quite possible Miles Sanders, like, plays the same amount of snaps as Javonte.
Sure.
I think they're very similar skill wise.
Okay. Goods is saying something in the chat here with game streak could be good from pass catching. No, I agree with you. That all depends on Jaden Blue, and if Jaden Blue could pass protect. And if they need pass protection, Javonte Williams could play a lot in a trailing game script where he's pass protection and gets like 3 targets, because that's kind of what he did well with the Broncos. It's the rushing efficiency that scares us for sure. So yeah, I think if you're going like who's going to lead the team in carries, you probably have a good debate between them all, but who's going to lead the team in snaps in a trailing game script, I think it would be Javonte, even though we all want it to be the more explosive pass catching, fun, Jaden Blue gets open in space and breaks one off narrative.
Yeah. Either way, like 100% drafted Javonte Williams, I think is like the easiest fade ever. But we'll see. I could be eating my words tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good, man. That's the beauty of this and talking through these games, especially when we haven't seen football in months. Dude, let's talk about some of the other positional stuff. I mean, I think quarterback's quite self-explanatory. You said where you were at on Hurts. You said you wouldn't take Mahomes unless it was pushed to it, and then you said it's quite flat on the back end. You're just kind of skinny stacking with the latest available target.
Yeah, more or less. I would say, well, I can just straight up tell you. Yeah, I've 31% Dak, 31% Jalen Hurts, 22% Herbert, and 15.5% Mahomes. So
okay,
yeah.
Just kind of not eating that ADP relative to the other ones because you don't think the discrepancy in projection warrants it, basically.
Right.
Right. Shout out to our guy Dan joining up, becoming a member, gives you access to members only streams and the Solver series before everybody else there. We had a bunch gifted out last week there. Will Rush gifted out 20. Sanjay Rich gifted out 100. So tons of stuff coming your guys' way. Okay. Respook is saying, is stacking more important in BR or Primetime Palooza? This is a very interesting question here. In a vacuum, more densely correlated stacking is going to play better in the Primetime Palooza than it is in the BR because there are fewer games and fewer variables to get right. Now, does that warrant it more important? I don't know. Because, you could find your way drawing dead. There's examples of lots of them where you could find your way drawing dead by overstacking in large field stuff. In a vacuum, you just kind of need to be perfect in both of the large field. But if you are playing smaller field stuff or the single entry, you can be definitely more densely correlated in the Primetime Paloozas. Oh, shit. Our guy Dan rolling through. Bang. Football's back. 50 from the top rope. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's back in a big, big way. Appreciate you. Not necessary, but love it. He wasn't a member, and he's making up for it. There you go. Love to see it.
Yeah, YouTube won't let people join on the app. I mean, it's 2025, and we can't have members join on their phones. Absurd.
There we go. The only reason I would ever interrupt a $50 donation from our boys is when I get chirped for my puck skills right here. Shoots wide on breakaways. Just subtle chirps going on in the chat. Love to see it. Woof indeed. Nez, let's talk about the scrolls, man, because I think a lot of people are just kind of living in this Najee and Kareem Hunt phase. And a lot of people are building like 3 wide receiver builds and then just being like, okay, I'll just tack on Najee or Hunt and hope they fall into the end zone. I think those builds are going to be replicated a lot. I think Will Shipley, I'll just say it. I think Will Shipley is the number one underdrafted running back as of right now, just for the leverage it offers off of both Hurts and from Saquon, or also paired with those guys. And you play the onslaught narrative where the highest implied total on the slate with the biggest spread just beats the brakes off of the team. And Will Shipley gets a little bit of extra work at the end, man. If he gets 5 carries and 3 receptions or 2 receptions or something like that, he could matter on this slate more so than Kareem Hunt and Najee Harris. That's kind of where I'm at with it. How about you?
There's a lot of scrolls. I do think Shipley is very interesting with the blowout narrative. And, you talked about the number of touches Saquon had, maybe, and Shipley, Gainwell's gone. Shipley will have, a role. We don't know exactly how much of a role he will have, but yeah, not out of the question that it's like a Saquon Shipley team would be like who you might need in this contest. Definitely not out of the question. We talking just running back scrolls?
Yeah, just running back scrolls for now.
Yeah, I mentioned Miles Sanders. I actually am serious about that. I think Miles Sanders is scroll worthy. He's going to be like sub 1% or something like crazy. So it's absolutely in play for me.
Yep.
Like I said, I have 14% Kareem Hunt, and then I am mixing in Jaden Blue every now and then. What percent Jaden Blue I have? I think I said 14%. So, nothing too crazy. I'm mostly looking at like I do a lot of 3 wide receiver or 2 tight end in this. So like any guy that's being picked here is usually like my only running back.
Okay. Very interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah, because I thought our guy was rolling through. Where was it? Man, where did Bound put it? I saw it in the chat like 2 minutes ago. First thing Bound said when he rolled through was, I thought he was being facetious, that it was 3 wide receivers or 2 tight end builds for the win tonight. And then Curry Goat rolls in 3 wide receiver builds for the win tonight. It's definitely where the most projectable scrolls and volume and big play potential resides on this slate, right?
That's what I think, man. Like one of these random wide receivers are way more likely to score a touchdown than these running backs that we're scrolling about right now. But yeah, if they're my emergency running back, then it is what it is,
Okay. Any love for anybody else on this list? Like, Elijah Mitchell signed before all the other running backs there. They talked about him as a Jerick McKinnon style role, like trailing game script. Elijah Mitchell, any love for that idea? He might be the best pass catcher they have. I don't know if Brashard Smith's better, but yeah.
That's too cute for me, but I mean, okay. It wouldn't like totally surprise me if Elijah Mitchell has a role, but we haven't gotten any signal about that at all.
Okay, sounds good to me. So stopping your scrolls at the cheeky Miles Sanders variety. Let's talk about the scrolls at the wide receiver position. I've seen it mentioned like 3 or 4 times in the chat here. Kvontae Turpin, in terms of big play potential, coupled with a couple passes, coupled with a couple carries, could be very interesting this evening. Like there's a non-zero chance that like Turpin could, one end around could outgain both Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams tonight if he breaks one off for 35 or 36. So any love for that idea?
Yeah, Turpin's definitely a good scroll. He what's he listed at right now? 27 and a half scrimmage yards in the pick'em lobby. If you're looking at wide receiver 3 Turpin or running back 2 Kareem Hunt, Kareem Hunt has 4 scrimmage yards over him in the pick'em lobby, but Hunt is going to be drafted way more than Turpin, so Turpin's going to be super, super low owned. And yeah, there's been a lot of buzz about him, being used in the backfield in Dallas. So that plus he just has that home run ability, like I believe you mentioned. So Turpin is an awesome scroll, and I wish I had more. I definitely am light Turpin, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah, I just he's kind of like the Marvin Mims light with like a higher ADOT on a slate like this, where it's kind of like, what do you win when you get him right? If we get like Jahan Dotson as a scroll the F down today, if we get him right, it's probably just in the Yoshi Voss style play archetype where he scores like 1 red zone target, or if like Grant Calcaterra, subs in for like some gimmicky play at the goal line, it's probably 1 touchdown like there. Like Turpin to me is like the one explosive archetype that goes basically undrafted that could find it in like a fun way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very it's like easy to conceive in your head, like why that makes sense. Maybe conceive was the bad word, but I have another scroll.
Okay, yeah, let's go through some more. Yeah.
So just like of the Dallas variety, Jalen Tolbert is one that I think is interesting. So it kind of directly conflicts with the Turpin scroll, but you're obviously not scrolling for both these guys on one team. But
sure,
Tolbert I think is interesting, where I think is going to like run a ton of routes. I think he will run more routes than Turpin. I think Turpin is more of a gadget guy plus special teams, whereas Tolbert I think they trust more out wide. Now, what does his targets look like? It doesn't look good. Like I do think this is a solid hire in the pick'em lobby, but he only has a 9.5 receiving yards pick'em. But
Sure.
we're talking about deep scrolls that are really low owned. Tolbert is that, and he is like the wide receiver 3, like by all accounts. Like he's is labeled as the clear cut wide receiver 3 per the blurb on the Dog app. And he didn't play the last preseason game. He rested with the starters, wasn't hurt. So I do think that he's like someone that I'm trying to mix in, because I think he's going to be just like absolutely forgotten about in this contest.
Yeah, I think he will be forgotten about for sure. QJ doesn't really count as a scroll because he goes like the majority of times here at the back end. Not every time, but he goes a decent amount. But I think people will be quick to forget that, like, he had 700 yards and a bunch of scores last year. Obviously, they added Keenan Allen, but like, what if Keenan Allen's just like not fully up to speed, ready to go week 1 here, and we see more QJ than anticipated? He's probably the best projecting back end option. Anyone else you want to draw attention to? Both the rookies here in KLS and Harris. Could Dotson lose his job to John Mechie, who was traded for in the preseason there? Does that matter at all? Tyquan Thornton, could he just rip the top off of defense and go nuke for 1? What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Tyquan. I think Tyquan's really interesting, where he's like the Justin Watson of the offense. Where he could be, one score guy you need. Nobody else comes close enough to mattering. But I think you're looking at like he just needs one catch, and that's really all you're looking for is like one long bomb from Tyquan. Mm-hmm. But it's really thin. Juju seems to be a safer scroll. Juju only has a pick'em median of 19.5. for his higher lower, but he is like the Rashi replacement. They really like him. They brought him back again. There's been a lot of talk, in press conferences about how like important Juju is to the team in the locker room. So I think Juju's going to run a ton of routes. He just always seems to find the end zone as well. So Juju has been the scroll that I've done the most here. Okay. And you mentioned these rookies that you have in the queue. Like I don't do any like Trey Harris or KLS, but you could. I'm not counting on it. I just think it's too difficult for them to get there.
Yep. You just need to see it first, kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean QJ I think has the leg up on them for wide receiver 3, and I don't know how often these guys are going to see the field.
Yeah, I think QJ's the better of all these clicks right now. So that's where I would be at, and then Juju.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, kind of like that. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
The explosive play archetype definitely fits like Tyquan, KLS, and Turpin of this kind of like grouping where it's like one play could be enough to matter if it's a low scoring slate, but we're not anticipating an overall low scoring slate. There is some interesting like narrative based stuff, like Noah saying Dotson, TD saying like Mechie garbage time and stuff in the chat here. Like, obviously you don't plan for that, but if you're building like an onslaught style roster, like the Eagles really don't use a third wide receiver. All of the production from like Dotson and their third wide receivers were when guys were hurt or in those like tail end ball games when everybody was rested, like week 18 and stuff last year. So it's kind of hard to get to like a third wide receiver on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Dotson definitely is the guy, though. If you were trying to get to any, it would be Dotson. And I've done like a couple clicks of Dotson, but nothing crazy.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Let's talk about the tight end position here, Nez. Just in terms of like our VORP metrics, our value over replacement player, it seems to be a position that we usually punt. I'll remind everybody of last year's Primetime Palooza slate to kick it all off, where Isaiah Likely lapped the field and basically scored more fantasy points than the other 4 starters who were going ahead of him combined last year. Now, I'm not sure there's an archetype of player like that on this slate today, but it's definitely range outcomes that like Leone has some good research on this and mentioned it on their ETR show that, the touchdown rate for tight ends to find the end zone relative to red zone usage is like higher than any other position from the pass catcher variety. When he was doing it, it's kind of a loaded stat, but it's in tandem with using them in the flex position on redacted versus using like 3K wide receivers. So on a short slate like this, where we're just hunting for like a secondary touchdown, I don't know, man. Noah Gray, Conklin, the rookie Gadsden in there. Grant Calcaterra is a pure pass catching kind of guy. Any love for any one of the scroll variety here?
I mean, you have to be looking at scrolls, but as far as like where does the scrolls begin and end? I mean, it's Disley, Gray, and Conklin. Like no Gadsden, no Schoonmaker, nothing like that. But
okay,
you are very much left up. So like a lot of people go to tight end, right? Like myself included. So you're left with like Disley, Gray, or Conklin a lot of the time, or or Disley goes and you're left with Gray or Conklin, or Gray goes and you're left with Disley or Conklin. Okay. So here's my take on this, right? Disley is going to be 75% drafted, maybe higher.
Yeah, I would venture to guess higher, but yeah.
Yeah, that to me that's like I don't know, man. To me that's like screams fade. That screams fade. Like it's such a coin flip as to whether or not like him or Conklin scores more fantasy points. He seems very not live to like matter. So like why play a chalk Will Disley when Noah Gray and Conklin are like the same bet plus leverage over Kelsey and Disley on top of it. So Noah Gray and Conklin I just think are better clicks.
Okay. Yeah, pure leverage angle there, and nobody else beyond that. No love for anything else.
No, I don't know. I mean, Gadsden, yeah, he was super blurbed about rookie, but like, no.
Sure, yeah,
we're talking about maybe the third Chargers tight end we'd mentioned. So no,
right, yeah. So you're leading to a lot of 2 tight end builds and stuff like that. Where does Kelsey, Goddard, and Ferg rank amongst this whole grouping of players then? Like, are you taking them right at ADP? Are you taking 2 of them in tandem ahead of Javonte Williams? Is that what's leading you to this?
Yeah, I don't have like any. I mean, well, I not. So yes, I'm taking them over Javonte.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm prioritizing them over Javonte Williams. Keenan and Hollywood, that's been like a tough decision. Like, what do I do? Keenan or Hollywood or some of these tight ends, just because of like positional scarcity that comes into play. So where am I even at on? Let me look at my exposures here. But like, I think it's pretty muddled in terms of Kelsey, Keenan, Hollywood, Goddard, and Ferg. Like those 3 are like pretty, like obviously I think Kelsey is the first pick out of that group, but it's not by a large margin in my opinion. And the rest are really, really tight in projection. So I guess TLDR is like I wouldn't get overly concentrated on anybody there unless they're like really cheap. Like I think Hollywood was just like way too cheap for way too long in these drafts. So I have a shit ton of Hollywood, but let's see here. Tight end wise, Ferg, I have 28%. Kelsey, I have 24%. Goddard, I have 22%. 16% Disley, so I don't like that. I stopped drafting him a while ago. 14% Noah Gray, 4% Conklin.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Pretty condensed there. Jordan's asking, is it a defensible click to click on Gadsden? I think it's fine, dude. Like I think it's if you're putting in 10 bullets here and you build out a Herbert stack and it's like, yeah, I just want like the one leverage piece, just know that it hits like 3% of the time. Like, it hits 5% of the time. You need all the other tight ends to fail and you need him to score 10 fantasy points via the 30 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, unless you know something I don't think it's a good click. Like, I don't think it's defensible. I mean, is he going to dress?
Right. Yeah. Yep. Entirely fair. There, I fully agree with this notion of like, going for the Philly wide receiver 3. Like, it's just such a thin path. Like, they just don't use it. They just don't use
Yeah.
it.
I mean, yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we're trying to win tournaments by doing things that are unlikely to happen that the field is not doing. Like I
Right.
fully understand.
This would have been such a Darnold Parham slate. It
Yeah.
absolutely would have been such a Darnold Parham slate. That is such a good shout there. All right, Nez, let's hop in, dude. See what it looks like. Rip a couple of these. We got the single entries up there. We got the hurry up, which is a 20 max. We got the dive in here, and we got the Primetime Palooza main. We've been primarily talking through the lens of the main contest, so we'll draft the main contest first. We roll the 101 because nobody runs better. Seen Spider before, and then seen a shit ton of Troy and Chris in my life in these lobbies, and I don't fucking like it. I don't like it, but we're going to go to battle with these guys.
Shout out Troy, always in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so curious to see what these guys end up doing. But yeah, it's Saquon snap pick here.
Snap it around a Saquon, huh? What has been one of your favorite angles to uniqueness pattern at like 4-5? Like if you pulled Devonta Smith up and then like hurt Smith and it's like an error game and it runs through Smith. Have you done anything fun like that?
I haven't pulled Swift up, but I've done like Lad and I've done Lad and AJ Brown. I've done Lad and Worthy at that turn though.
Yep. I like those.
You know.
I mean,
yeah.
Who's to say Lad can't be the high scoring wide receiver on this slate?
Not me. I mean, I let's see here. AJ Brown, 70 receiving yards in the pick'em lobby. Lad McConkey, 71 receiving yards just by that. But AJ Brown much likelier to score a touchdown. But they're very close.
Hampton goes there. Worthy went in front. We kind of have this Pacheco plus Pickens combo to deal with here. What do you like here usually?
I think Pickens won here. And then we can kind of talk about this next pick between Devontae, Pacheco, and Kelsey.
Yeah, I think I kind of like Kelsey the best, but I'd be fine with Pacheco too. I think Smith and Barkley's like a kind of bad pairing, to be honest.
I don't think it is, but I do think Kelsey is the best pick.
Okay. Which is interesting because you also really liked Pacheco, and you said you liked Pacheco on the other side of the board at like this 4-5 area. So yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think we can do more scrolling if we go Kelsey because we're gonna probably have to scroll for a wide receiver 3. But we get tight end locked up, which is nice. And Kelsey does have, a pretty high chance of separating, but he might not. But we're obviously saying he does here. And if you get Kelsey separating and Saquon separating, you're instantly in the top 1%, like instantaneously.
Right.
But yeah, I think Smith and Barkley is fine because all you're saying is that Jalen Hurts is not pushing into the end zone. That's all you're saying.
Okay. All the tight ends go, or not all, but all the 3 big ones there. We're left with the Javonte decision. We're left with, do we do Dak plus Pickens here?
I think you do Keenan. Like, we need a wide receiver too. Keenan is like far and away the best pick here.
Okay.
Now after Keenan, now we have a decision. So we could do like do you want to get a quarterback here, or do you want to just say, hey, we'll take Herbert and then get Javonte because you're confident Javonte's role is better than I am.
No, I wanna fuck around, find out, and scroll. So let's take Dak.
Okay.
Let's take Dak because Troy will take Dak because he's the CD drafter and the Ferg drafter. He didn't want us to take Dak. Sorry, Troy. But like we'll do the Dak Pickens thing. And then this gives us an option to scroll to whoever we want at 24. It could be Blue, it could be Turpin, it could be Tolbert. Some kind of like uniqueness angle.
Right. That's what I like. You get a better EV pick, or however you want to describe it, by being able to scroll there. And I mean, you could have taken Herbert and scrolled, but that wouldn't make a ton of sense with Keenan as opposed to Pickens while we're on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I think either's fine. I don't really have a dog in that fight, but I think in a vacuum, I prefer Dak.
Oh yeah, I do as well.
Javonte goes there. Jaden Blue goes there. Noah Gray. So nice little tight end scroll to pair up with the Mahomes. Instant leverage off of the Kelsey stuff. Then you see Chris out here. He's got that Hurts to Goddard
Trey
stack.
Harris, nice.
Nice, yeah, playing that rookie angle. What if he has a bigger role? Kareem Hunt comes back to us. I think he's probably the most likely to fall into the end zone of the bunch. I think QJ plus Allen, but no Herbert feels bad, but could obviously get home. I think Turpin or Tolbert for the scroll, or Shipley for the uniqueness. Who do you like?
Probably one of those Dallas receivers if you want to really get unique, but Kareem Hunt, best projecting pick.
And I didn't get it in time. So we got Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, probably the best projecting play there at 24. We get a Dak plus Pickens, Keenan Allen from one game environment there. And then you get the Hunt plus Kelsey bring back off of that. And then you get Saquon scores all the touchdowns for the Eagles. And then Dak plays catch up with George Pickens on the other side there.
It's a good team. It's definitely a good projecting team.
Yep, for sure. This is a fun one. Holy shit. Got a lineup with Ladd, Lamb, and AJ Brown. Ooh, cooking.
Good Lord, bro.
Cooking. Yeah, what is the GM in this? It might very well be that. It might be the Ladd, Lamb one there. I'm going to hop us in another one here, but we're going to do the Primetime Dive 2. A little bit of a higher price point there at the 25. 2 more spots in this one. One more spot in this one. There we go. Also, guys, when we were rattling off those promos at the start there is a last call for BBM promo where if you do draft 2 BBMs, you get yourself 100 in bonus credit there into there, and then you repeat it 3 times, and you can get up to 30 back. So just a little added incentive to make sure that thing gets filled. I think we are tracking quite well to fill that prior to lock. Did I say 100 instead of 10? What did I say, Eggers? Correct me, because I'm not that smart. Sun Q's in here with us. Let's get it. Sun 007 from the front there. Wayne and Chris. Chris is everywhere right now. Can't get away from this guy. My bad. I did not mean to say 100. You get 10. 10 in bonus.
You did say 100.
Back to here. You get 10 in bonus funds. There you go. We get this start that mirrors what we see in almost every draft right now. Saquon and Lamb. I guess Jalen Hurts would be the pick here, Nez.
Yeah, you can go Jalen Hurts or AJ Brown.
I just saw Chris take Jalen Hurts at 103, so I don't think he'll come back to us if we take AJ Brown. So let's take Hurts and give kind of a different build here, see what it looks like. Do you like Hampton or Ladd more?
Ladd.
Okay. Seems like a bit of a tier there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most ambiguity in terms of tier breakdown comes in this like after Hurts. Like most rooms are going to look like this, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you can flip-flop AJ Brown and Hurts here. And then the decision making really starts with like the Worthy, Lad, Hampton, Pacheco, pending on what you want to accomplish with your draft. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to have a stacking partner for Hurts unless we scroll the F down or take Goddard. But I think Kelsey is like, if you don't take Kelsey here, I think it's kind of bad.
I agree.
What do you think?
Yeah, I like Kelsey. And if Goddard comes back, then we can maybe double tight end it.
Okay. Yeah, like Kelsey does just look like the end of a tier to me. I'm not sure Chris is going to want to do Goddard plus AJ Brown without Jalen Hurts. So we'll see what he ends up deciding here. He still does it, and he clicks both of them. We got posed with the Williams thing here. We obviously can't take quarterback. Keenan Allen, but we already have Lad. Could be fine. What do you like, dude?
I typically do Hollywood when I'm left with these picks.
Yeah, you like Hollywood more than Keenan in a vacuum?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
I think I would probably lean the Keenan side of that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hollywood just has better projections, so I lean Hollywood between the two.
Yeah. Like I guess there's a little bit of scared that like Keenan Allen isn't fully ramped up kind of deal, but I trust that, the fact that he signed and he's going back to it. Yeah.
Keenan put better tape on film last year than Hollywood because Hollywood is barely on the field. So there's that.
Yeah, that's true. Dak goes at the end there. Sun is building a very similar team to what we built last time, but instead of Hunt, he gets Pacheco there. Interesting spot for us here, Nez. Najee, I guess.
Running back. Yeah, we got to go running back.
Yeah, this team doesn't have me feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. I think we're going to have to scroll to make me feel alive here.
Let's see what Chris does. Is he going to Hunt?
He goes ahead and takes Hunt there. He has a 2 tight end build. And then naked Herbert. So he's jamming the projections in there. I kind of want to do like a Hurts stack. And I kind of want to do it with Will Shipley.
Let's do it.
I'm trying to make sense of this lineup. Like, you can obviously win with naked Hurts. But, like, we got 3 Chargers pieces if we take QJ. We're going to have 3 Chiefs pieces. Like, it's a lot to ask from the other game environment. And then this game environment, Hurts has a good enough score to be like the highest scoring player on his own and nobody else from the game matter. Like, what does that look like from a narrative standpoint?
Like 2 rushing touchdowns, probably.
Yeah. Which is very conceivable. It'd probably be a low
Shipley break off,
game.
Yeah. Like Shipley takes a screen pass to the house and it's like, oh my gosh, like, wow. Shipley is now the RB2.
Yeah.
And then Najee gets into the end zone. Or, it's a dive, so you don't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
But yeah, this is, I think, the obvious issue with, doing what I suggested in going Lad over Hampton is your teams feel grosser. But,
Yeah, your teams also feel grosser going Hurts and then not getting Devonta to fall back or AJ to fall back.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're kind of just left with like, okay, now I'm just like, quote unquote, jamming the projection. And like, That's typically speaking not how I like to play, especially in the dives on like lower volume.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's hear it, man.
Both ways.
One little dump off from Jalen Hurts to Will Shipley, and let's go.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
Like a la Chase Brown at the first Dog Bowl, just like a screen pass to his house.
There we go. All right, guys, check your prize boxes. A couple gimmies out there. There's also the Saquon 0 that's floating around. out there. Nez, is there anything that was popping? Let's keep it just Thursday night football for this evening. I'll check out Unabated as well here while we do this. Was there anything that was like piquing your interest this evening?
Yeah, like the Jalen Tolbert higher 9.5 receiving yards. Like it's just one. Like I feel like that's just one catch. He doesn't really do short yardage stuff, and I don't think they're going to be throwing short yardage, pass attempts much this game. I think they're going to have to be passing a lot. Like I think this is just like a one catch, and we're good.
All right. I'm going to bring up some other stuff. I'm looking just macro pick'em lobby stuff right now. I think that one's just a boo-boo. Never mind. I was going to share that there was like an extreme outlier one here. Although Ricky Pearsall showing the greatest edge on Unabated right now in terms of higher on the receptions. They have a 4.7 projection. I guess it's the Blitz that's using it right now. And Underdog
do we have
has
access to the Blitz? I didn't think I did. Maybe
I think we do.
But you would see a bigger edge. It would be like 1,000,000% if you were using the Blitz.
28%.
All right, must be.
That's not nothing. Yeah, just looking to filter through.
Are we just doing Thursday games?
I was trying to. Yeah, I was just literally just trying to do tonight only.
Okay.
Just to put a little 2 or a 3 together. Yeah, nothing popping huge on the unabated stuff. Lower on the Javonte Williams rushing yards is one, which I kind of really agree with. Showing some hires on Pickens and CD in terms of yardage, but very little, minimal edge multipliers on those ones.
Let's just go with our stones.
Yeah, and just be like, Javonte doesn't have that juice.
Yeah, that feels like something I'm into.
Okay, cool. And then now we got to take one from the Eagles side here, Nez. How spicy do we want to get with that?
Well, a lot of different ways the Eagles can kick some ass tonight. Trying to think here. The one thing that I was thinking about, but I think I'm just like I'm getting like entirely too cute, is a lower on Saquon receiving yards.
Oh, that's funny because the first place my mind went was higher on that 12.5 Saquon receiving yards. I literally saw that and that was my favorite number.
Oh,
funny.
Yeah, I was kind of down on that just because I didn't think they would have to use him in the pass game a ton. I thought Will Shipley was like emerging as the third down option for the Eagles, who would kind of get more of those attempts if any attempts were going to the running back. And last year as well, Saquon only had 278 receiving yards, which is sort of in line with what this pick'em is saying, right? That's not a lot. Last year, receiving yard wise, he had like most of his receiving yards, like he either like goes way higher or way lower. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games of greater than 20 receiving yards and 3 games of over 40. But the rest was like 0, 9, 0, 2, 3. It wasn't very good. In all the games that he did, put up these receiving totals, they were competitive games. This doesn't seem like it's a competitive game.
I'm not willing to crown a 1-score game not competitive yet.
I mean, it's just 8-point spread.
I have visions of like just one dump off and just breaking it for 40 yards and being like, duh, it's Saquon. I don't like the Saquon one.
What do you want to play here?
We can't do CD. Dak rushing yards?
I don't know.
No?
That's not what I had in mind.
What else you like?
I told you what I like.
I hate it though.
Well, there's like 4 players that are used on offense for the Eagles, so pick one.
I don't know. I'm really torn now. I thought you were gonna. When you started talking, I was like, yes, he's gonna say higher.
I mean, I still think that it kind of coincides with a SmackDown. Does Jahan Dotson catch a ball? Like lower, like Jahan Dotson, no receptions.
I'm using the Saquon one. I'm using the Saquon gimme.
Oh, you're going freebie? All right.
I'm using the Saquon gimme for the people here. This is how we're using the Saquon play.
You can do John Mechie to catch a ball or John Mechie receiving yards of 0.5.
John Mechie receiving yards 0.5.
Like they traded for him. They went out and got John Mechie.
Oh, you like the higher?
0.5 receiving yards? There's like so many ways that gets home. It could get home in regulation or in garbage time.
Where did it go? Okay. Okay.
You hit the search bar.
No, I'm trying to get back to what we were doing. We had the Tolbert. We had the Tolbert higher one. Dude, how about Turpin on these rush yards?
You buying that psyop?
I don't know yet. 5.5. Huh. Okay. Tolbert. Javonte Williams lower. And then where was my guy? Mechie. And you like the higher side of the yardage or of the receptions?
Yardage. Get more of a multiplier.
All right. Click that little box there and see if you have that beautiful 50%. There it is. Never Javonte Williams is the thesis of this program, I guess.
Never Javonte is correct.
Yeah. He doesn't play. Here's hoping he plays one snap and catches one ball.
What do you think about Will Shipley lower longest rush?
Will Shipley. Keep getting moved out of like I'm in the game, then I'm not in the game. So it goes away.
It's 6.5.
Longest rush. I don't know. 6.5 is like a pretty long run for a guy who has a total of 11.5.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Just something to throw out there. Do you want to do like two sliders? Like,
yeah, that's fun.
Tyler
Hunter
really
touchdown?
wants us to do loop key.
Hunter touchdown? Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun. Hunter and Shipley. All right, who do you want to slide?
I think Devontae Smith.
4 yardage?
Yeah, I think either yardage or two touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
2 touchdowns is fun.
Wow. All right. And then what do you want to pair it with?
I think probably like CD, Dak, or Pickens.
How about CD over 100? CD gets
Okay, how much is that? That's what
48.
X? What is it
48.
just for? Well, I meant just like CD's multiplier.
1.63.
Okay, 1.63. I'm gonna play this two ways. I'm putting 20 on that. I like this.
Oh no.
Oh, it
Oh,
got
they're giving
even
us
it got even juicier.
they're like Numi's like, yo, these guys are gonna do this? All right.
Are they fucking serious? We gotta make it incentivize them. And then I did and then I like Dak for 300 passing yards as another to pair.
Okay, so Dak 300 passing yards with Devonta Smith again.
Yes.
Devonta Smith night. Heard it here first. Am I blind? There we go.
I'm just looking to have a little fun.
Oh,
Is that a crime?
fun.
Is that a crime?
It's certainly fun. There's going to be a lot of points scored if this happens. All right. We had our fun. Nez, what do you want to hop in here? We can't do BBM. Both of us have maxed it. I'm thinking marathon or sprint. Which would you prefer?
Let's see here. Marathon or sprint? Let's do marathon. It's the one that's lagging the most.
All right, let's hop in. Marathon. Oh my gosh, we were the last guy in.
I wonder what this finishes at. So lock is in 3 hours. Last year, these got to sprint got to well over 90%. I think marathon was like 90% as well. I wonder what these finish at, because like the late push in these contests, man, is no joke.
Yeah, the late push was definitely probably more noticeable in the late push was more noticeable in pre eras where the dailies weren't as big, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Last year, marathon closed at 92%. Sprint.
There you go. Brett's got it for us in the chat.
Closed at 91. Yep.
92.2 and 91.8. Hopefully we get there again here. Jamming some in. Jordan's asking, sign of the economic times. I think there's a lot of factors here. I think the daily slates are bigger than they've ever been. I think there's a lot of different contests available. I think there's competition in the market more so than ever.
It's not sign of the economic times. I mean, they've done more volume than ever.
Right.
Like, these are two very unique contests that people just straight up voted with their dollar, didn't have a ton of interest in. It is what it is.
Right. Saquon here.
Saquon or CMC?
Or CMC. Interesting. Okay, let's do Saquon. You like CMC in the marathon format here, Nez?
Yeah, if he's healthy. What the bet is CMC stays healthy. CMC stays healthy. Yeah. I mean, he's probably RB1.
Yeah. I think people are learning that in a big way right now when they get the projections, and we're doing our slate here for the weekend, and people see, oh, CMC projects as RB1. Oh, yeah, duh, it's CMC. So right. It's like turning off best ball brain versus turning on projection brain, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a great point from Go Cards in here. EV is in the dailies with the masterclass. It's true. It is true. People are saying, man, it's not me.
Yeah. People are just ready to turn the page, but the overlay chasers are going to cannibalize themselves and bring these very close to 90%, if not over 90% in the next 3 hours.
Yeah. Nez, we haven't drafted a marathon together in a while. Just macro thoughts on the contest format of like, cumulative scoring through the weeks. Like, stacking probably means a little bit less. It's a plus, not a minus, but it's also something we're not chasing. We're not chasing those like isolated game environments. We're really just like trying to focus on like quote unquote the best plays, cash game style lineup. Is that the thought process here?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think I would disagree with what you said there. I'm stacking a lot in the marathon. I'm trying to make a team level bet. Like this team is the highest scoring team in football, and now I have the whole offense to carry around that. Now you got to hit the nuts around it, but that's really what I'm doing. But the other cash game angle, like the cash game angle that I am taking, is like, we have week 1 projections from multiple sources here. I'm definitely leveraging that in these drafts. Like, okay, we have an idea of what these players are projecting for, and there's like some strong value that exists in these drafts of players that go really late that for at least week 1 project pretty well. So why wouldn't we give these guys a bit of a boost in the marathon because of that? Like, as we have more information at our disposal. So that's how I'm kind of like leveraging it.
Okay, what's an example of a player and or team level bet like that?
I think the Browns.
Okay, yeah, my mind went there too as well.
Yeah.
AJ Brown comes back to us if we want to do a team level bet with the Eagles.
I lean Kyron because running back gets bad fast.
Okay. Yeah, people really prioritizing running back in the marathon stuff.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want 3rd round Amari and Hampton in a marathon draft.
Okay. That one looks like kind of unique, that AJ Brown plus Bijan. Only a few more hours of best ball season. Got to get in here. What are your thoughts on the elite quarterback? Obviously, elite quarterback pushed up a little bit more than BBM and stuff like that. Although tail end of BBM season, they were going on the left side of the board here. Thoughts on that?
I don't love it in marathon.
Okay. Does that mean you would like to take Trey McGronk here?
Yeah, or one of these wide receivers.
Take Trey. Let's in the sidekick. I trust. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Trey catches touchdowns.
Trey is gonna catch touchdowns. Don't you worry, my friend.
So if McBride is catching touchdowns, it kind of ties into the Marvin Harrison conversation of shows ago. Like, you definitely want to prioritize Kyler Murray for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, these quarterbacks, the seasons they need to have are just like historic seasons to be who you need in the marathon, in my opinion. Unless like the way the dynamics shake out and that's just the only way I can see them mattering in the marathon, because like there is going to be somebody rounds and rounds later that like is putting up scores, making their awesome seasons not worth it, and canceling out their good seasons. They really like we need to see like double-digit rushing touchdowns, 4,000 passing yards type of stuff from these quarterbacks to matter at these prices, in my opinion. That's just how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, that checks out. That makes sense, dude. Emo Cowboy. Yeah. Brad's in here. Brad's going full piss boy start here.
Brad.
Bretta James, former Dog Bowl participant in the 105. Dale's in here.
So, like, would you consider, not to pick on our guy Bobby G 3333333, but like Trayvon Henderson in a marathon? Would you consider it good?
Probably not. I think I'd probably like the Ken Walker archetype, but if it breaks right for him, it breaks right in a big way. Brees at the top of the queue here, Nez. Do we need running back or do we want to start thinking about wide receiver?
I think Sutton is interesting.
Okay.
I really like the Broncos, and I like Sutton. Seems like a clear-cut wide receiver 1.
Yeah, gives us some stacking outs too. Yeah, like what's the thought process in Hendo being worse in the marathon? Just the fact that like we don't care about back-weighted production. We need production every week. We need maximum fantasy points.
I mean, yeah, Alvin Kamara going like 12 picks after him in the marathon, I just think is wild.
Sure, yeah.
Like Alvin Kamara should be going ahead of him in the marathon.
Okay. Like just as
he's straight up splitting time with Ramondre Stevenson right now is what we expect.
So do you want to take Alvin Kamara here?
Yeah, I do.
Sounds good. You feel safer than Brees. The week 1 projection will tell you so.
Yeah, no doubt. Kamara is going to get all he can handle. To me, it just seems like I'm really prioritizing running back early in the marathon, or at least I did while I was still drafting this thing. And then you can really push it and maybe do like 5 running backs in this thing when it's all said and done, with some pretty nice running backs that are available super late, and just try to run pure on some of these wide receivers that we take after. Maybe hit on a sick team level bet, and now we have a team that's cooking.
Cool. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like, Mind of a Kid just goes like, this is the most anti-slappy team for the most anti-slappy contest. Like, honestly, a great way to diversify your picks. Like, it makes sense. Like, that makes sense. If you're super weighted to like what everybody was having fun with in BBM with like the Goldens and the Mbukas and the Hendo bags, like this contest really evens that out because you kind of, as you're saying, put your week 1 brain on, put your projection brain on, and just be like, how are we going to score the most fantasy points?
Right. I mean, I've been called a boomer quite a bit this off season in terms of how I'm drafting.
Right now, being called Boomer Nez.
Yeah, I think it gives me an edge in the space that I'm building things so much different than other people. But like, you just do it correctly, right? Like, I'm not about to take a 4th running back here. Like, this is where we build out the rest of the team. And if we're good at picking good players, then it shouldn't matter. Then it should give us like a pretty strong edge that like we're beating out all the other sharps at running back, and we're selecting good players late. Like, yeah, to me, it just makes a lot of sense. I really started to kind of feel strongly about going running back early with my last like 30 or 40 BBMs. I went like almost exclusively like RB starts.
Okay. Any concern that you're like pushing too far into like last year's results based data with that? Oh, we're on the clock here. Save that question.
Not really.
No?
Not really.
Swift, the guy that we don't really take that often. Juwan Jennings getting some love. Debo's here.
Debo, Diggs, Laporta. We already have a tight end, so Debo or Diggs for me.
Yeah, I think we need to address wide receiver here after 3 running back start there. Debo with the same bye week. How do you think about bye weeks in marathon format?
I don't think about it at all yet. Once we, if our 4th wide receiver, or if our 3rd and 4th wide receiver have week 12 buys, then we really need to get started. But by the time this team's complete, we won't even remember that we have 2 wide receivers with the same bye. Week 12 isn't that popular of a bye week, also.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Never mind. I was about to say like Kyler's really pushed down in this format. Yeah. So we can wait till 94 if we want to make that team level bet. Aaron Jones goes there. Diggs goes there. Jennings is still top of queue here for Olave
Nice.
goes there. Yeah, you like Jennings here?
Jennings or Jacoby, I think. What do you think?
I think Jennings.
I
I
think
think I
so too.
liked I think I liked Jennings before. Like the ultimate like nothing ever happens in this league conversation of the offseason is like the Jennings saga and the Jacoby Myers wanting a trade, then Amari comes in, then now none of it matters. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's the classic, like both of these guys had the same offseason minus the injury for Jacoby or for Jennings rather. Like the calf injury, if that was even real, who knows? But uh like they both had like the epitome of like nothing ever happens and we're forcing these narratives to talk about kind of thing.
Yeah, not wrong, not wrong. I think they're pretty close, right? It definitely helps that like Jacoby is sticking around on the team and he does potentially have like, one of the better quarterbacks he's ever played with, but there are a lot of mouths to feed on the offense. But you can obviously say the same for Jennings. I think they're very similar, but considering we were drafting Jennings, way higher than this before, yeah, I think you go Jennings.
Yeah, the calf needed 3 million to heal. If there was never the calf narrative and never the contract narrative, like where would Jennings be going in this contest? Still right here, or would he be in front of Ricky Pearsall over there? Would he be in front of Golden and Rice? Like where do you think he would be going? As like early BBM, he was like 5th round guy and shit like that, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's kind of hard to like visualize it now, but I think
I like
like
Rome.
that's yeah. I think like ahead of Judy. I think drafters would have had it.
Yeah. Something like that. All right. Interesting. Sidekick still liking some of these tight end prices. They must be high in ADP. Like after taking Bowers, like I don't know. I'm not sure we want to score our flex with tight end.
No, they just really like Andrews.
Yeah. Bo Nix is here if we want to stack it up with
Ooh,
Sutton and Kyler. We could
yeah.
also
What do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Dobbins to stack it up.
We can do Dobbins and like maybe shut it down.
At 4 running backs?
Potentially. I mean, those are pretty strong running backs. And to take Dobbins as a fourth, I think we're saying he's kind of the guy all season. Because if
Yeah.
not, then it's like what was the Dobbins bet?
Right.
If not that.
Now, if Bo Nix comes back here, who do you prefer, Bo Nix or Kyler on this team?
I think Kyler.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because Dobbins kind of makes that Broncos bet without having to take Bo Nix. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm Kyler here big time.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of why I said the Dobbins one, just because like I didn't want to take both quarterbacks there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like we could still make the team bet with Dobbins instead of Nix, and then you just get whatever quarterback comes back.
Yeah. This is a fun team, man. I think this team like tells a pretty coherent story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna do some patchwork at the wide receiver position. Like, what's your standard marathon build been like? Because like, I was surprised you said stopping at 4 running backs to me would kind of like be out of the question. But like, is that something you've been doing in the marathon?
If I do something like this, yeah, I would for sure stop at 4. Like we're trying to do a pretty insane feat in terms of shipping, and these bets that we made, like, man, a 5th running back would have to be like one of my last 3 picks, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that notion for sure. I just think I would always still think about adding one. I don't know. Just the way scoring works on this site. Like I just, bye weeks and shit like that. Like I understand we're trying to hit the nuts and literally have the highest scoring lineup all season long.
Mm-hmm.
I just like hard to envision that happening with only 4 at the position, even if they were like the nut 4. Just
Yeah,
like the
I
way.
think that like Dobbins kind of like made that bed, like by
Oh,
taking Dobbins, you are kind of that's basically what we're saying is like that these are our horses, because otherwise I think Dobbins should have been like Shaheed or Mooney, a
right.
wide receiver.
You think Mooney plays
So
this week?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
That's the only reason, right? Like the Dobbins, like I think you just need to, like, that's like the bet has been made, like
Right.
I really don't think it's smart to, but we'll see. We'll see what the last 3 rounds look like. It could be dog shit, and it will be dog shit. So
All right. Let's check this out.
all
Eckler
right,
goes there.
we don't
Caleb,
care about week
we don't have this.
17 at all.
Yeah, we don't need the week 17 stuff.
Mims,
Mims is
Keenan.
overkill. Keenan's probably the play.
Okay.
Keenan or Palmer, but Palmer's like way down.
Yeah, Palmer's interesting with this Keon groin, but Keon was limited. But Palmer could just be a pretty nice receiver in general for the Bills.
Wow, this is a big brick of purple and green that came back here. Makes me regret taking purple and green before that.
That's all right, man. You got ADP in the marathon is so bad and broken that it doesn't even matter.
Right. It really doesn't mirror that of other contests.
It kind of mirrors it a little too much.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Saying the same thing. My wording was wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I think Romeo Dubs is definitely an option for us, or if you want to take a second quarterback, we can. But, like, there are some guys that are running 90% of routes that are available.
Who do you want, Dubs or Herbert?
I think Herbert's fine. We have Keenan.
Yeah. I think after that Keenan pick, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, because we're going to need a lot from Keenan on this team.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be hitting our wide receiver 3, or if it, we plan on him hitting our wide receiver spot quite a bit. So, yeah, Herbert makes sense for that because he's probably cooking if Keenan Allen's having a good season.
Right. Yeah.
And then I would consider stopping at 2 quarterbacks, but
yeah, like okay, so this is interesting. Like, where do you spend the roster spots if you stop? Because we got Trey McBride, so we're probably playing 2 there. Then we got 2 at the quarterback, and we got 4 at the running back. Like, are you suggesting a 2-4-10-2? Really?
I mean, a 3-4-9-2 or 2-4-10-2, maybe 3. Maybe you could even, depending on the tight ends that are there, you can even say, oh, we're flexing a tight end sometimes. But if you're flexing a tight end, are you winning the marathon? I don't know. You really would have to hit the nuts there. I think what we're just saying is like we are just like we're playing absolute whack-a-mole at wide receiver, and our wide receiver 1 and 2 are probably going to be like the same faces, but that wide receiver 3, because we're hopefully flexing one of these running backs. If not, we're fucked. Our wide receiver 3, we're just playing whack-a-mole, and we're running so pure on these guys, but we're giving ourselves a chance to run pure by saying our early picks at quarterback hit. Trey McBride is it. He is the tight end 1, not even close. And now we're running so pure, ping ponging these weeks. Goddard's fine.
Goddard, Leggett, or Hollywood?
Leggett.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought enough about it. I think I pushed back a
Mhm.
little bit harder on like you don't have to hit the nuts every single week, which means you don't have to have the same players scoring for you every single week because like guys do have bad games. So it's like hitting the nuts for a season long is like a different idea than hitting the nuts every single isolated week. So I think I would still gravitate to like 5 running back just to like like all 4 of these guys could finish as top 20 running backs but like not score every single week,
Who would the running back be though? I mean, like, because like I think we should be looking at wide. I think we should be pricing out wide receivers here, like for sure.
Yeah, right now for sure. Yeah, you like Douglas or Ayuk?
Douglas, like Ayuk in a marathon, absolutely not. No,
Yeah,
no way.
I
Like,
agree with that.
yeah, no.
Like, what do you win when you get 4 weeks of Ayuk?
Other teams are probably more or better suited to find out. I don't think we are.
Right. Yeah.
And like I don't know, man. Maybe Judkins turns out to be a good marathon pick, and I'm not trying to like pick on Star Fox, but like that's just like something I'm never considering in the marathon, like never
Right.
considering. I don't know.
No.
Maybe I'm too risk averse for these contests, but like
No,
I'm trying to make good picks.
Yeah, like Mixon, Ayuk, Judkins. Like what do you win when you win? Like 3 usable weeks? Like 2 usable weeks? Like I know injuries happen and variance happens in sport, but like I don't know, man. The Judkins one, like I went back and I looked at like where my one Judkins BBM share was, and it was the very first solo stream draft I did the very first day that BBM dropped.
I wonder how many Judkins I have.
And I was like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense that I took him then. Like, I just don't get it. Like, he could be amazing.
Judkins teams.
Like, he could be amazing. He could be so talented. Like, he doesn't have a fucking contract right now.
It's nuts.
Mari Cooper just retired.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Mari Cooper just recovered.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, like this is kind of how I feel. Like, okay, we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Kyle Williams, Wan'Dale Robinson, one of the tight ends, Henry, Chig.
Wan'Dale sticks out.
Okay, another week 14 bye. We got so many week 14 and 12 buys. That's all we got in our running back.
That's not ideal. That is not ideal. We're going to be crushing week 12. You're going to be in first place in the marathon. You're going to be pricing out exotic animals with your wife.
I don't want exotic animal. I'll send it to you. I'll give you the exotic animal.
Right, we need to just turn on the yellow button.
I don't know, man. I kind of like Rico. Like Rico as a last usable score.
Okay.
Rico feels like a good just bet in general.
And he's a week 14 bye, which is nice.
At least our running back room doesn't have it.
That's true. That's true. And he's a league at bet.
Yeah. Week 14 bye. Different position, Chad. Please. Come on now. Like this is kind of how I feel. Like Lil Dodgery's like I can't wait for the people to victory lap Judkins, even though it was objectively a bad pick. Like that's how I feel, man. Like I understand they spent some draft capital. It's like it's the lowest implied team totals. It's supposed to be the worst offense. Like we can get a little excited about like Joe Flacco going back to the Browns with the quarterback whisperer, the OG, like Stefanski OG quarterback whisperer, and he can have a couple fun weeks here where he slings it like he's Jameis. But like that will not justify like a Judkins pick when he comes back, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's just not. If I lose that bet, I lose that bet. But I feel like I'm playing it correctly.
Right. like, I don't know. One of the only formats to be a bye week, bro. Oh, I love it.
All right, so how are we finishing this team?
It's a bunch of wide receivers that don't have buys. We need one tight end. And then we need some receivers. I don't know. Kate Otten kind of stands out. Amari Cooper.
R.I.P.
Amari Cooper. This team is as alive as Amari Cooper is right now.
We're good on tight end.
No, we need one.
Oh, we didn't take Goddard. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, Otten went, which is unfortunate for us there. Michael Wilson for the team level bet.
Yeah.
Sanders is another week 14 bye. Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, if Jonnu comes back, or you can take him now. Yeah.
Let's take Jonnu.
The ADP game.
He's got 3 on the end there. Star Fox has only got 1. Jonnu feels like kind of safe, I guess. Zay Jones. D-Hop, Zay Jones, and Josh Reynolds. The chaperone threesome here. And Dave, I tripped and fell and accidentally entered 4 more BBMs. Bless up. Love that. Ship with one of those bullets.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully Michael Wilson comes back.
Yeah. I feel like this too. Like the ADP just started too high on Judkins because people wanted to like Judkins. All right, Michael Wilson in the queue there. Comes back to us. Feels like a good team level bet. One of the bye weeks does not overlap with us. And then we got one more pick here. Wide receiver.
I think Beretta has an interesting thing going on here. I mean, I did until he straight up limited himself to only one quarterback or tight end, but he like handcuffed Texans and Browns backfield, which like I personally don't hate, but
in this format or just in general?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in this format, probably better with the Texans because I just like their outlook better. But
okay,
like if you're spending that capital on Chubb and Marks, like I don't think it's that big of a deal, and you're potentially getting a pretty valuable player for cheap,
right?
You know,
and
like in the aggregate, you're building Joe Mixon.
Right. Yeah, this is the Moneyball thesis here.
Yeah. I wonder if he's just gonna like what's he gonna do though? How's he gonna land?
Yeah, I don't
this?
know. Be interesting
he's definitely
to see
autoing.
Here.
All right. What's this last pick gonna be? What position do we think?
I think it has to be wide receiver, just given all the buys and that sort of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Jack Besh back in our life here?
Oh man.
I think we need more
Besh.
of like. I think we need more of a. I'm not going to say boring. I think there's a player I like on our screen more though.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm curious who you're going to say.
Dontavian Wicks. He went.
Same with Roman Wilson. You know who projects well in week 1 is Ray McLeod.
Is that projection baking in Mooney sitting or no?
I don't think so. Because Mooney has a pretty strong projection as well. Like Ray had a nice season last year. He is the wide receiver 3 in Atlanta. They didn't really bring in anybody else. And if we think Penix is good, I like Mooney in round 18.
All right.
Or
sounds good to me, dude.
McLeod, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. 2, 5, 9, 2. I made Nez take Rico, or else it would have been 2, 4, 10, 2. Kyler, Herbert, Saquon, Kyron, Kamara, Dobbins, Rico. Man, that's like a really solid start. Now things get a little bit dicey with the bye weeks here, but Sutton, Debo, Jennings, Keenan, Leggett, Demario Douglas, Wandale Robinson, Michael Wilson, Ray McLeod the third, and then Trey McBride, Jonnu Smith. Dude, this team's good.
It is good.
This team's good. Yeah.
Like it's very clear how this team succeeds if it has success.
Right. Dude, like, this team's good, man. Arizona bet, Chargers bet, bunch of solid projecting running backs at the front end. They just stay healthy. This team. Okay, Nez, does it suck or does it fuck, man?
Oh, it fucks. It's so fuckable.
It's so fuckable.
I can't even.
Beautiful.
I can't even talk to this lineup at the bar. Like,
yeah,
it's out of my league.
I'm scared to talk to this lineup. Oh, I love it. Oh man, yeah, this is not an eliminator ass team. You're right. This is a marathon ass team, bro. That's what it is. Yeah, Trey Tucker back in our lives potentially. All right, Melts has a good question. What's the food beer combo to celebrate the start of NFL this season? I'm a Sapporo guy right now. I like Sapporos. In a big way. I'm a cultured
out here.
Yeah. I'm a cultured Japanese man right now. Jonaguchi is what they call me.
I like Sapporos. Sapporos are good. They have a nice taste to them. But that's hilarious to be drinking a Japanese beer on the day of football Christmas.
I might have a little sushi for dinner too. Why not? I'm a sucker for...
Oh my gosh, this dude just pure Pacific Islander. I love it.
I eat like so Asian, like so ethnically. Like I eat like all the Thai food in the world. I eat all the sushi. I eat like
great
cuisine. What I live off of.
Great cuisines, plural. A lot of solid options. So I'm with you.
A lot of pokey and stuff like that.
Pokey. Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Pokey.
Okay.
I think pizza and wings is such a smash. Like it's the chalk. I mean, it sits heavy. The only problem with pizzas and wings is it kind of like hurts your ability to drink beer. That's the only thing. Like you can get really full on pizza and wings.
It stunts your beer belly growth.
Yes. Yeah. So like I'm kind of more of like a beer and carbs, type of guy.
Okay.
So like
I got you.
Beer and pizza mostly, but like I love a wing. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, man, these guys they're all about it, man. I do eat so Asian, man. I live in Vancouver. That's where it's all at. Sapporo solid. There we go. Red beer and nachos. Little kimchi love in the chat.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, yes, international man of culture.
Yes,
empanadas.
The most cultured man I know.
Empanadas, let's roll, baby. Sapporo, what a ball knower. That's good. Good shit. Fajitas. Oh, let's go.
Ooh, man. I don't even know what I'm eating for dinner.
No.
I need to actually figure that out with my wife. Because I'm going to this concert.
You got to plan that one out strategically, dude.
Yeah, I need to work on that.
Oh, here's a fun one. What's the best nationality for food?
Well, you already said it. Well, I guess no. You said culture.
Well,
let's narrow it down. Yeah. Right.
I think Japanese is like really high up there. I think Greek is really high up there. Yeah, those would be my two front runners. Mexican's high up there, but I couldn't live off of it. Italian, that's a good one from Eric. Italian's like really good. But like the problem with Italian is like you just be living off like pastas, beers, red wine, and pizza forever. Like there's no variety outside of it. Right, that's true. There's no variety outside of it. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, like a little lamb shoulder. Like Greek's got so much variety.
Yeah, Greek's interesting. I think I'm probably Mexican.
Yeah. I think I'd have tummy troubles forever if I was solely Mexican. Mexican two days in a row, max. Three days in a row, max. Yeah.
Oh, John, here's a win horse to send us off on.
Yep.
Kyle Monangai back at practice limited.
Okay.
Roshan Johnson did not practice today. Buddy. It was always Kyle Monangai from the jump. Always.
Love it, dude. I love it, dude. All right. There's your last tidbit for the season there. Get in there. Get your Kyle Monangais in the 18th round here, according to Nez. Winhursts are up. All right, guys. Enjoy the first night of football. Get in these primetime Palooza lobbies. Get in those end of best ball season lobbies there. Some great shit going on here on the platform.
Absolutely.
Nez and I will be back tomorrow. We're gonna do kind of like a recap of like the weekend slate there tomorrow, where our opinions have changed since Off and On the Clock. Just kind of doing our shows out of order there, but I think we should probably mix in a little baseball, throw some love to the Dinger people and that sort of thing. So, yeah, what do you think, Nez?
Makes sense. Yeah, we'll do a little baseball.
And for the newest member, shout out to Dan there who gifted us $50 there and is our newest member. Will there be anything over the weekend for the members here via the no strip variety?
Yeah. Something Friday night. TBD on time once Mello goes to sleep. So it's usually like 11 p.m. Eastern these days.
Okay.
Hopefully sooner if I can get on sooner. And we'll be doing dog bowls on Friday night.
Awesome. So good. We're so all the way back here.
So back.
So effing back. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. Best of luck tonight with the pick'em stuff. Best of luck tonight for the primetime Palooza stuff. Let me see all those victory laps, all those fucking screenshots. Let's get it. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Don't be afraid to take your shirts off to celebrate.